In the world of athletics, comparisons between legends and rising stars are inevitable. Every generation watches with anticipation, hoping to witness the next phenomenon. For sprinting, there is no benchmark higher than Usain Bolt, the Jamaican icon who dominated track and field with electrifying speed, showmanship, and world records that remain untouched. But in recent years, a new name has emerged in the conversation. Erriyon Knighton, the young American sprinter who has taken the world by storm with his rapid rise and jaw-dropping times in the 200 meters. In 2005, Usain Bolt was a tall, lean teenager who had already made a name for himself by breaking the world junior record in the 200 meters at the age of 17. By 19, he was beginning to make the transition from junior promise to senior potential. That year, he clocked a time of 19.99 seconds in the 200 meters, a historic moment as he officially broke the 20-second barrier for the first time. But Bolt's journey was not entirely smooth. He battled injuries and struggled to manage his towering 6'5" frame. At that point, he had not yet transitioned to the 100 meters, and while his talent was undeniable, few could have predicted the storm that was brewing. The Usain Bolt that the world came to know, the one who shattered world records and lit up Olympic stadiums, was still in the making. At 19, he was more of a prodigy than a polished performer. Fast forward almost 2 decades. Born in 2004, Erriyon Knighton exploded onto the scene as a high schooler in Florida. Originally a football player, Knighton only turned professional in track and field at the age of 17, bypassing college to sign with Adidas. It didn't take long for him to make history. In 2021, he ran 20.11 seconds at just 17 years old, breaking Bolt's under-18 world best. That same year, he shattered Bolt's under-20 record by running 19.84 seconds. By the time Knighton turned 19, he had already been an Olympic finalist, finishing 4th in the 200 meters at the Tokyo Games, a rare feat for a teenager. In 2022, he lowered his personal best even further, clocking 19.69 seconds, making him the 4th fastest man in history at that distance at the time. Where Bolt at 19 was full of potential and inconsistency, Knighton at the same age has shown consistency, speed, and maturity beyond his years. On paper, Knighton is ahead. His 19.69 eclipses Bolt's 19.99 at the same age. He's also had greater success at the elite level, competing against and often beating world-class runners as a teenager. While both men specialize in the 200 meters, their sprinting styles are fundamentally different. Usain Bolt relied on an unmatched top-end speed. Once he reached his full stride, usually after 60 or 70 meters, he seemed to glide, eating up ground with seemingly effortless steps. Over 2.7 meters allowed him to accelerate even when others were fading. In the second half of his races, he was nearly impossible to catch. Knighton, by contrast, is a much more technical sprinter. His acceleration off the curve, his fluid motion through the turn, and his ability to maintain composure at high speeds are his strengths. Where Bolt overwhelmed opponents with brute speed and rhythm, Knighton outmaneuvers them with a mixture of technique and youthful energy. His races are precise, controlled, and fast. Another key difference lies in their development. Bolt at 19 was still raw. His body hadn't matured into the sprinting machine it would become by 2008. He had natural speed, but lacked the polish and muscle conditioning that made him an Olympic champion. He didn't yet have full control over his form. Knighton, on the other hand, has benefited from modern coaching, technology, biomechanics, and sports science from a much younger age. His transition from football to sprinting was rapid, but guided. At 19, he is far more efficient, technically sound, and race-ready than Bolt was at the same age. At 19, Bolt had yet to seriously focus on the 100 meters. He wouldn't break the 10-second barrier until age 21. Knighton, for now, remains focused on the 200 meters, though he has run 10.04 in the 100 meters, a respectable time, but not world-class just yet. However, if he chooses to fully commit to the shorter sprint, he could be a threat there too. Still, The comparison at 100 meters remains inconclusive because Bolt's greatest performances in that event came after his 20s. In comparing these two talents, it's important to separate potential from legacy. At 19, Knighton appears faster. His times are quicker, his experience deeper, and his achievements more tangible. But greatness in track and field is measured over time. Bolt didn't just run fast, he rewrote history. He broke barriers, won gold medals in 3 consecutive Olympics, and captivated the world like no other athlete in track and field history. Knighton's path is still being written. If he continues on this trajectory, stays injury-free, and breaks into the 19.4 or even 19.3 territory, he could become the next generational sprinter. But to eclipse Bolt, it won't be enough to just run fast. He will have to win when it matters most, on the world's biggest stages. So who was faster at 19? Erriyon Knighton, without a doubt. His times are better, his performances are cleaner, his rise has been more explosive, but sprinting is a career, not a snapshot. Usain Bolt remains the king of the 200 meters, not because he was the fastest at 19, but because he went on to do things no one else ever has. Knighton has the chance to carry the flame, and if he keeps running like this, he just might light up the track like Bolt once did. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more inspiring sports content. What's your favorite Bolt and Knighton moments? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.